Lions fan and a Browns fan. Lions fan, we are fully aware our team is shit. Going to be shit when I die. It's
Yeah.
probably going to be shit when my kids die, my grandkids die, and on until the Ford family no longer exists. Browns fans, every year going to the Super Bowl. Every year.
Delusional. Yeah. It's an
Delusional.
issue. It's a problem, man. But I mean, we live with it. You really right, man. Because we some crazy fans that sit up there and still go to games. You watching on a Sunday, watching your heart get ripped out in front of you every single weekend. Ain't good for nobody. But shit, we here.
You know what I will say though? Salute to the women in Cleveland because I've never seen women so active and so knowledgeable about football as they are in Cleveland.
Dog, they don't mess around. They be with it. They more knowledgeable than a
Yeah,
lot of the men. They keep it a buck.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? So shoot, kudos. You know,
So, sports reporter, was that the goal in the beginning?
man, that's a good question. I think I like sports. Don't get me wrong. I love the intersection of pop culture and sports for sure. I grew up playing football, basketball, a ton of sports for sure. But I think what it started with was me in college. Like I always liked to, or even before then, I say I always liked to write. That was always my passion, and like trying to be clever and witty and having some sauce about myself. And that carried over into a lane of kind of barbershop talk. Like I mean, talking about it every day. Period.
Mhm.
Let's try to make a job out of it. What let's try to get paid for it. You
Feel
know,
you.
it was already coming naturally. So it was really for me finding a lane to talk the way I wanted to talk. So in college, that kind of branched off from writing to podcast work and talking on the radio to, hey, I can do this in front of the camera. And I like it. Like I like it a lot. And it kind of stuck, man. I don't think I went into it with that intention at first. We were just kind of, I mean, shoot, even in, but again, it was always that writing background. I think out of college, like my first like my major was creative writing, and then
Mhm.
I sat down with my counselor at the time, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't want to be an English teacher. Let's ask that, and let's stay in that communication field, and and see what we can make shake out of that. But again, it was always in that creative space, and shoot, man, it's just been working out. It's been it felt like it's been a long time, but it's really been a short run when you look at it, and we're just trying to keep it rolling.
So, are you at home in the mirror practicing your sports reporter
Dog,
voice?
all day. Nah, I'm in the mirror practicing questions. I try not to have a voice, man, because I really can't stand it. You know how the cats get on there and you're watching Bob Jones. I can't go, man. I can't do it. It's not me. I'm not built for it. Like this is the way I talk on a everyday basis. I mean, I just try to enunciate my words a little bit more than average. And what can I say? Project my voice a bit
Mhm.
because I can be not soft spoken, but I talk to myself a lot. I say a lot of stuff under my breath a lot, just me being telling jokes, period. But it's just getting out of that and letting people hear your voice, and letting it stand out a little bit. So I definitely talk to myself a good amount for sure.
How long did you watch the replay of the first time you were on camera?
A trillion times, man. I think everybody does it, but I don't like hate my voice. I don't hate the way it sounds. I always hear that it's different. You know what I'm saying? And
Yo, I hate my voice. I
you
never listened to the podcast.
straight up, that's
Oh,
crazy.
I hate my shit.
Yeah, man, you got a strong voice, man. Get out of that. It's there, man. It's there. You, but it's crazy though, man. I think my first time it was at Heidelberg. So I went to a small school in the middle of nowhere up here in Ohio. It's called Heidelberg University, and I ain't really have much to focus on besides ball and
Mhm.
like shoot, that's it. That's it. It wasn't too much trouble to get in out there because it's too many sticks. So other than, but at that time, it was just focusing on ball the whole time, ball, ball,
Mhm.
ball, and then I didn't really lock into what I wanted to do until like late, like after I did some bouncing around with colleges, and then probably my senior year, I started locking in for real, for real. But
Okay.
it was really experimenting there that I was just watching clips and just trying to get a knack for I can really do this. Let's keep this going.
So for folks out there trying to get into the business or they just started college, they know what they want to do. How does that work? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. I think media is different, man. You really don't have to have a degree for this stuff. Like if you talk spicy and you good at what you do and you have an audience, you can it can go up. Like companies will come to you. And we're the creators these days. Everything is on our phones, literally. Like
Man,
this thing is better than any camera you can get. Like 4K footage, whatever you need. Turn this sucker sideways and go on YouTube. That's the best advice I can give anybody right now. If this is the lane you want to be in, like that media landscape space or media landscape and sports, pop culture, whatever your niche is, man, like practice, do it. Say your stuff on TikTok. If that don't work, delete it and try again tomorrow. Ain't nothing to it. Just give it a try. Give it a shot.
for me, as far as brothers and as sports reporters, like Stuart Scott was that guy. Like he was the one, like booyah, the other side of the pillow. Like catch for me, he started catchphrases. I'm sure Chris Berman would disagree. Um, but from where I come from, like it just didn't start until Stewart.
Yeah, and it stuck, man. He was so dope. And I think the crazy thing about it is he was kind of groundbreaking in that even the folks at ESPN, a lot of people would speak to it. When he was there, the cats in the building sometimes didn't even like him. They thought it was like it was too much or whatever. But like the fans at home, like it stuck, man. It stuck. You see somebody that looks like you on screen talking spicy the same way your uncle would. Like, yo, this is you. It sticks. It sticks for good reason, man. And like I said, like you said, a pioneer, and it definitely trickled down because I definitely try to use I mean, I talk the same way I talk. I talk the same way my family talks. I got a
Mhm.
show called Long Story Short, and that's an ism of my uncle way back in the day. He said that all the time before you get into a long-winded piece about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like long-winded piece about nothing, but it all trickles down, man. And you are a product of your environment a lot of the times, and like I'm sure like Scott's family was the same way. It wasn't just happenstance. And you kind of yeah, like I said, you're a product of your environment. You're gonna do what your people do, and the real gonna respect it.
So what's your wheelhouse sports wise?
Yeah, I love again that intersection of pop culture and sports. So for a long time, I was at WRIO. It's the CBS affiliate here in Cleveland. So
Okay.
Cleveland 19 News. I was covering a lot of sports, a lot of human interest stories for the station up there. But I would be at the Browns games, the Cavs games. I'd be in the locker room, but not really talking about the X's and O's. I want to talk to Odell about what shoes he got on, and why he's playing the game in the first place. I want to kind of humanize the athlete, um,
Mm.
and just talk to him just as a man, and as a black man from a unique perspective of a young black man. I'm one of very few at that time in the industry, the youngest cat in the locker room that's not a player. Um,
Mm.
one of few that the same skin color as the cat that I'm
Right.
talking to.
Same
So
swag,
yeah, all of
same
that,
generation, the
yeah,
whole
all of
nine. Yeah.
that, and they see it too, and it's kind of like and they show love just off the strength of that alone, and that was really cool. So that's what I would say my wheelhouse is, man. I try to be very versatile. So like all that I just talked about, I consider that talking smack. I'm gonna talk smack regardless. I really love that's just my personality, but I really love the storytelling side as well. And I got to do that a lot with USA Today just this past year and a half, and that was really cool. But the thing I like about that is telling stories about life through
Mhm.
the lens of sports. So whether or not you picked up a basketball or not, you ever played the game, anybody can relate to hardship and having to overcome something, and that can stick with a lot of people, man. I think storytelling can be very powerful as long as the right people are listening.
What story did you go home with that still fucks with you somewhat?
Yeah, man. I got a good amount, dog. I shoot. One was a trip. It was in nah, it was just recent, bruh. My man Max May, he's in Akron, outskirts of Akron, Ohio,
Mhm.
and he is a junior in high school right now, going in, yeah, but a junior, was a junior this past year, going into his senior year now.
Mhm.
And he played three sports: basketball, cross country, and baseball, all by battling cancer this past year. And it
Yo.
was nuts, man, just watching that whole thing unfolds. So we caught wind of the story. I went out and shot it myself, wrote, shot, and edited the entire piece. But I called his dad ahead of time to, get permission for this story to be told in the first place. It's a very sensitive topic. You want to be tasteful with everything. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to his pops from the jump, and he's like, "Yeah, this is let's do it." I think he would be open to it. And he was kind of curious himself because I mean, this is an ongoing thing. Like a lot of the pieces that I did, they were called Courage Award stories. The
Mhm.
subjects had overcome whatever they were up against. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This one was different because my man was in the middle of these treatments right now. So it was very unique in that sense. But we got the story done, and I was really proud of how it all came together. And he's a fighter, just like a lot of the folks that I interviewed. Another one that comes to mind was a baseball player out of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and I went down there in the middle of nowhere, not expecting too much, and I get there, and the story is about a kid who was expecting a great senior season, going into potentially going to college to play the sport that he loves, and before that has a chance to happen, he gets into a car accident, and as a
Mhm.
result of that accident, he's paralyzed from the waist down. No more baseball. Season's over. His team is devastated. The community is kind of devastated, but he is like alive and well. You wouldn't be able to tell. He becomes a kind of a source of inspiration for that team throughout the season. Still on the
Mhm.
sidelines with the guys, and you watch a whole community rally behind somebody. And I'm sitting there talking to a guy who's had such a tragic injury, and he's like, man, shoot, at least I'm still here. You know what I mean? My man, 17 years old, having that sort of perspective is nuts. And I think again, man, just stories like that go a really long way.
And my bad, man. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to, like I like to check and make sure that everything is everything as far as the live streams are
Oh
concerned.
yeah, absolutely.
And for some reason, I can't hear us.
Really?
Yeah, like we're live. Everything is beautiful. It's supposed to
Oh,
be.
we're not expecting too much, and I get there, and the story is about
I hear
a
that.
kid who was expecting a.
Oh, yeah. I just okay. Now I understand. See, this is the first week I'm taking calls. Well, I haven't put the number out there, but what I did was I got it the Bluetooth on.
Got you.
So I'm thinking, oh shit, it's not connected, but it's actually connected. So I just want to let me just double check because I want to
Yeah,
make sure
no,
because
I'd
I'm
rather
loving
you
what
take
we're
this call.
doing right here, and I want to make sure that people can actually let me just double check. All right, yeah, we perfect. All right. Just had to make sure that the T's was crossed and the I's was dotted, and
Absolutely.
they are. All right. So what's next for you?
Yeah, man. What's nice? That's a good question. So I'm a free agent. Your boy's a free agent right now, man.
Hmm.
I just got some news that I was laid off as a result of some cutbacks at Gannett. So lost my full-time job, but thankfully I'm in a position where I'm not in a rush. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
don't want to get a job just for the sake of getting a job. I want to find something that's going to be very fulfilling moving forward in that realm of pop culture and sports. Me being a host, being able to tell stories that matter is important to me. So we're gonna wait around and see what's next. But thankfully, in the meantime, I still get to talk some smack. So this upcoming Saturday, I'm gonna be in the booth at Eastern Kentucky versus Bowling Green in the color analyst position, calling a college football game, man. So that's gonna be fun. I get to do so. Hopefully, get a few more games in between time, get some money in my pocket. But in between time, man, we just gonna pitch some ideas for some potential shows. And I'm on the lookout. I'm on LinkedIn like it's Tinder, swiping, going crazy. We trying to make it shake.
Yo, so what's the prep work like for a color analyst gig?
Yeah, it's dope actually because last year was my first time experiencing it, and it's
Mhm.
not like a week of prep. You get about a week's time. Coaches call with both sides. So talk to the Eastern Kentucky side Tuesday, talk to BG Wednesday, Thursday, and you can talk to OCs, defensive coordinators, head coaches, anybody affiliated with the team. Um, let me think. And you can talk to players. You can pull players aside and talk to them ahead of time as well
Really?
to get an inside perspective of of what's happening. So the cool thing that I like about it is it's kind of dope. So you go into it throughout the week talking to these coaches about the game plan and what they think is going to happen and what they think is going to happen on paper and how they plan to attack it, all that good stuff. And then shoot, I mean, these are all guesses. I mean, I don't know. Nothing really happened till Saturday. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we do as much prep work as we can of what we think is going to happen as analysts and these schemes and everything like that and prepare. But Saturday, man, shoot, anything can happen. And that's the cool part about it. So we get to put all that to the test come weekends in. And it's dope, man. But as far as prep goes, it's me and the color analyst who has or it's me and the play-by-play guy who has
Mhm.
a heavy lift because they talking throughout the broadcast. They are nonstop. My man just broke a 30-yard run up the seam and he's blah, blah, blah. Every single play, my man is nonstop talking. I have an easier job, so to speak, where I am popping in every once in a while, talking about why said play was important, what was happening there, and kind of provide some analysis to viewers to get give them a better understanding of what's
Okay.
happening during the game.
So,
Um,
like, the play analyst is like, okay, he just ran for a 20-yard play, and then you come in and say, well, I talked to Coach so and so on Tuesday, and he was telling us that he was about to throw that into the whole hookup.
already.
All
Yep.
right, all
Yep.
right, yeah, I watch, bro. You know, hey, I'm one of those dudes that will watch the same Sports Center 17 fucking times in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah. That's real, man. That's a lot of cats out here, man. I done had times, right? Or, yeah, like you said, 17 times in a row. I'm waking up to it. I'm going to bed to it, and it's kind of like I know what segments coming on before. You know what I'm saying? Just based off what I saw 2 hours ago. Like yeah, like it's all there.
Yo, what's the worst part?
Man, I think the worst part these days, man, you got to be a jack of all trades. You got to write, shoot, edit all of your own work. And editing, I mean, I like being a part of the process of framing up a piece because it's different. Like you really have to think differently when it comes to these feature stories.
Mhm.
Before, when I was at Heidelberg, bro, I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't know how to frame up a story, who to talk to, what to think about in terms of B-roll. But all of that is important, and I've gotten to like it. And yeah, I've gotten infatuated with it a bit. And
Mm,
you can
editing is
get off.
trash for me,
It
bro.
is, bro. It's
I hate
time
that shit.
consuming, bro. Like I was excited to get this piece off. I did a special with USA Today. It's called Why We Play. It was a 30-minute special that aired on our OTT platform. So anybody with one of them fancy TVs, you can watch it on that thing. But
Mhm.
it was dope being able to talk about the fact that I got a piece like that off. But at the same time, bro, it's not fun chopping that sucker up at 3:30 in the morning. Like you're in there seeing stars, bro. You keep rewinding the same clip
God.
back. You think you're bugging out. You need extra eyes on it. It's annoying. It's
Oh,
definitely annoying. It's not for the faint of heart, bro.
yeah.
You get mad at yourself in there.
Oh my god. And I'm only chopping up an hour show, and it's not like I'm adding anything to it. I'm just trying to find a decent clip to make the guests look good
Yeah.
that people will be interested in. And I'm like, oh god, this is like pulling teeth. I'd rather have a tooth pulled sometimes. I just what's the matter of fact, what was OBJ? What is he like?
OBJ is dope, man. He a real cool dude. Very like, and this was off of him leaving uh the Giants and everything like that, and the perspective that some of the national media has about like him being a headache in the locker room and all this other carrying on. So we really didn't know what to expect in him coming down, bro. But when he did, like he's very personable, gave you the best of answers and was just a real chill dude. Like I remember that year, that first year he came down, there was a guy that his name was Damon Sheehy Giuseppe. And he like
Mhm.
lied his way into he finessed a way onto the Cleveland Browns. He said that he knew somebody when he really didn't. Got a tryout, ran a 4.3, and coach is like, "All right, bet you with it." And so he was he made it through training, or he was there through training camp, and he was like a fan favorite during the preseason to hopefully make that squad. And he didn't make the squad, but the story in it is OBJ kind of putting him underneath his wing during that time period, giving him cleats, giving him whatever he needs, hey, giving him rides.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just that type of dude, just good people. And I'm sure a lot of people in that locker room and locker rooms around the country would say the same thing.
Yo, I would not have expected that. Have you interviewed the cut players?
The cut man, now I haven't. And I don't think that would be a super swell conversation. I mean, it's a lot of emotions going through cats' heads during that time, but you really don't have
Maybe not like right after you get
yeah,
cut,
yeah,
but I would like, like football is a couple of things you expect. You
yeah.
expect to get hurt at some point, and you expect to get cut.
That's real
Yep.
though.
And I don't care how big a person you are, at some point you're gonna lose your gig. If you
Yeah,
don't get cut, you're gonna get demoted. One of the two. Nobody stays on top except Barry Sanders and Jim Brown forever. Other
yeah.
than that, everybody else goes through it. So I'm wondering, like, how do you prepare yourself? How do you deal with that? Like, like baseball is like failure is built into the sport.
Hmm.
If you are one third adequate at batting, you're great.
Right.
So that means you fail in two-thirds of the time. So you used to this shit.
Yeah,
Football, it's like you go from a god to the usher.
that's a fact. In a matter of a season, sometimes even sooner than that. Like it's such a tough sport, man, because the cats just get younger and younger. Like it's just younger and faster, and it's crazy. Like this the next group coming in behind you, they just looking for the next big thing at all times. No matter what sort of production you may have had the previous years, it's crazy, man. Um, but no, that's real, man. And I think a lot of them they've been playing the game at such a high level for a long time. They know their bodies too.
Mhm.
They know when it's time and how much longer they realistically
Do
have.
they?
I think so, man. I think
I
so.
don't know, man, because some of these brothers be out there looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it, but like you hate to see your favorite player stay on that extra 2 years.
That's facts because it ruins the legacy. You just go out on top, whatever your top is. But yeah, man,
It's
sometimes the
hard for me
paycheck
to
is
say
there
that shit
for
too.
them, and they just try to like ride it out a little bit. And who gonna if somebody trying to pay you X amount of dollars, who gonna turn that down?
Yeah,
That's free
man.
bread.
I'm gonna look bad for $25 million a year. I'm not gonna lie. I could be fully demented and somebody come along and say, I want you to do your podcast a couple more years. Oh, sure. I don't even know what podcast means anymore. Say, how much?
That's a fact.
You know, so it's on the one hand, I understand, but on the other hand, it's like some players, like I didn't want to see Joe Montana go to Kansas City.
Mhm.
That was just even though he was dope, he wasn't like trash.
Yeah,
You know, I was skeptical about Tom Brady going to the
yeah.
Buccaneers. I think this year may be that year.
You think so?
I think so. I don't
Yeah,
I
Tom
don't
Brady.
know, man. He's either done completely after this year or he's gonna fall off a cliff.
Yeah, one of the two. I mean, but they've been saying that about him forever, though. You know what I mean? It's been a good 4 years where
That is true.
a headline at the end of the offseason is Tom Brady done?
Yeah.
Tom Brady, and he
Yeah.
I know better. I refuse. I'm not going against the GOAT. I let him hang it up on his own time. I ain't about to call it for him because I'm gonna lose some money. I'm not putting my bread on that horse.
Sports wise, in his sport, is he the most unequivocal GOAT compared to actually, I'd say Gretzky in hockey. The debate is going to always be in basketball, Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah,
Going to give it to and actually Bill Russell if you really want to go there.
yeah,
But let's just for argument's sake say Jordan
yeah.
and baseball. I don't even know. Like, first off, I'm not a baseball fan. Shit's hella boring. Oh my god! Like I can stomach it a little bit during the postseason on TV, but
Yeah.
I've actually went to a game and the pace of the game live is 3,000% slower than it is on TV.
Like, yo, where's the commercial break? No, that's real. It's you gotta have a beer in your hand, man. That's the only way to get through it. You get a break, man. You really do.
So, do you get bored at some games?
it's very easy to get bored, especially if it's a blowout. Like I'm telling you, like when you watch these games and you see these cats up there talking about the weather, like it's that's real life. Like you in there, they watching the same game you watching, dog. Ain't nothing interesting in front of us. But hey,
Yeah.
man, shoot, you got to make some shit. You can't have no dead air time, no
But
dead.
why is Alabama playing Central State? And no disrespect to Central State,
Yeah,
but why is that? I mean, I understand from Central State's standpoint, it's a bag.
yeah, it's a big bag.
You're
Yeah,
gonna get beat up so that your school and you're putting your kids at risk.
that's a fact. That's a fact, man. We just had a few of those conversations today, and thinking about these money games, as it relates to some of these college football teams. Got these big Power Five schools going down and whooping, molly whopping these teams, dog. Like
Oh my God.
at some point, it does get unfair. And I mean, but at that point, like, I mean, you got to put in your third
Yeah.
string, fourth string guys. You know, somebody else got to get to touch the field because it's gonna get scary.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah, the only reason it is a bag. That's the only reason why Central State is on that field.
Although I will say, like, what are your thoughts on the name, image, and likeness?
Yeah, man, good for them. Rake in all the free bread you can. Like what? Yesterday. I think that's really cool that the NCAA is allowing that. And I think it's really like wide open. Like cats really don't have to go to a Duke
Yeah,
if you're a hooper. You can go to a Howard. You can go to wherever. Like the bread is gonna come regardless, and you're gonna leave in a year anyway. So who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah,
it's really about to be up. So go to a school where you are comfortable and being your 100% authentic self, around like-minded peer groups and whatever, and go for college for the right things, and like you're gonna get some bread wherever you at. So it's not even gonna matter. So I think it's a really cool thing that's happening right now. For
and shout
sure.
out to prime time. Like prime time is, and they hate his
Oh,
ass,
they don't like it one bit. He taking their players, man. He
man,
they
and doing it like and letting them know I'm taking your
yeah,
player,
sure enough.
and he
Yeah,
should. It's the top 10 schools have been eaten for decades. Like they just give Notre Dame a top 10 ranking every year at the beginning of the year.
yeah.
For absolutely no reason. Look, most overrated college school.
Mm. Would it be the Fighting Irish? Most overrated college school across sports.
They might be. The last time they won anything.
That's a fact, man. We talking like what are we on? Like what who when is
And
the last time they won
low
anything?
key, and I sent a lot of money to the University of Michigan. One of my daughters graduated from there, but they may be right there with Notre Dame.
Down there in the big house.
Like I don't recall the last time. When was the last time? At least football. The last time they won.
Yeah. Yeah, last time I heard her name was Devin Gardner, and that was a little bit ago. And last time they were popping on the basketball side for real was Fab Five, and they ain't win nothing either. So what we really talking about?
Oh, Jawan Howard got them popping a little bit.
Yeah,
At least they made some decent runs. But football wise, they just beat O State. That was it. Was it last year? Year
yeah,
before?
yeah,
And that was like the first time in forever. Like how Harbaugh, just holds on to a gig is. I think he's a good coach. I think O State has just they are like the best of the second tier teams.
mm,
Like they get there every year. They're right there. They're competitive, and then they go to the SEC and get their lunch.
yeah, yeah.
Is there anything they can do differently?
I, I I think there was just like you said, man. It's been a difference in talent, like knocking everybody socks off throughout um the regular season, so to speak. And then man, you once you get that mixed bag of SEC teams, and you going up against Clemson's and Alabama's and Georgia's, man, it's different.
Clemson about to fall off.
You calling it?
I'm calling it. Dabo is And for the sake of you getting a new gig, I'm gonna withhold my full thoughts on Dabo Swinney. But I think that the true Dabo has kind of came through over the last couple of years. I think it's going to have a significant effect on recruiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's important. I mean, you want to go into a culture that you believe in and that are that you believe in. And
yeah,
yeah, man, if you ain't rocking with the coach's sentiments, it's not gonna be good for your for the roster.
yeah. And the bully coach days are over.
Yeah,
You know, I think oh boy at Alabama is probably the only one that's really going to be able to get away with the bully coaching, and he's got like half the NFL coming from his roster, so
yeah,
you
yeah. It's
kind
Nick
of
Saban.
understand that. You
Yeah,
know, Nick Saban is just is he the best coach football
it would be hard to argue against it. Honestly, just off of the numbers, like consistently,
consistently?
consistently. Like,
What is it about him? What do you think?
I think I forgot who was up against him, man. They were talking smack about him. They were going back and forth. Or no, Saban had said something about Dion and the operation that he got going at Jackson State. And
Yeah.
somebody spoke up for him. It was like, yo, I know you ain't talking. And I want to say, I feel like it was I
Was it the
forgot.
Texas A&M coach?
Yeah, man. What's my man name?
I can't remember his name, but I think
But
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Either
Yeah,
way, but he went off on him, man. Like, I know you ain't talking. Like, y'all run your operation ain't the tightest over there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think it's that he's built such a strong team around him that like it's such a respect there that the people that he have underneath him are getting the job done. I mean, he might be the face that you see
Mhm.
happen and everything like that, but it's a lot of moving parts. I feel like, but behind these teams being successful, to be honest.
And he may have the biggest grip on a state since Joe Pa.
That boy can run for governor.
He could. He absolutely and Joe Paterno, like he had a grip on this state, man.
Yeah,
I was watching the documentary. I think it was the 30 for 30 on Penn State. And man, it was just wow.
yeah.
That was pretty bad, man. It was it the lengths that some people go to maintain their positions
Hmm.
is saddening, and I can't limit that just to sports because I've seen it. Like if you can go a gazillion other places, hell, R. Kelly, if you want. A lot of people prop that man up, and
Yeah.
let him do some horrible things. But man, how do we fix that in sports?
I think I get it's crazy, man, because it's really like it's going back to high school. It's like a cool club. Like everybody is a
Man,
fan of the jocks. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you like why are we separating groups and putting people on a pedestal and people can't that same jock in high school that didn't have to do his homework is the same jock that's not getting reprimanded for doing what he shouldn't be doing legally. You know what I mean? Like it all trickles down, but it's a society issue of just putting cats and letting stuff slide that just shouldn't. That's how you stop it by just hitting these cats in the chest and like, oh, bro, that ain't cool. Keeping it a buck with people. Um, the same standard that you holding everybody else to is the same one that cat that run a 4.2 should.
unfortunately, the cat that's running the 4.2 actually makes money for you, and the dude with the 2.8 grade point average and bad teeth and ugly hair and acne ain't doing shit for the institution.
That man pizza face. Yeah, man.
You know, I went to Michigan State for a few years, and I took a history class, and I'm not gonna name no names, but I had a basketball player in there that was pretty prominent on the team. He wasn't like the superstar,
Mhm.
but he wasn't a scrub either. But this guy showed up maybe 3 times the whole semester,
Yeah.
and when he did, he was asleep, like literally, and it wasn't just a regular. It was a like he was sleep, like he forgot that he had to come to class, and somebody dropped his ass off there, and he passed his class.
Oh, with flying colors. My man
It it
graduated. If he graduated, it was summa cum laude.
it was embarrassing. You know, it really is, like you And I'm not saying that they should be rocket scientists. Nobody, like, but you're right. You should be held to some type of standard,
Yeah,
And from my understanding, like at least from what you hear, Prime Time is holding his kids to standards, not just sports wise, but academically too.
yeah, yeah.
And he's being judged by through a different lens than everybody else too.
That's a fact, and we know why. But I think that it's cool too because every coach does things different. But like
Mhm.
the good ones, they try to teach the young men about life. You know what I'm saying? So we bring in different experts, so to speak, in their fields to come talk to the players and everything like that. Man, it's dope, man. I remember I was at a conference. I was at a journalism conference, and he
Mhm.
and Primetime pulled up, and he bringing in students there that were interested in communication. You know what I mean? Like to have he's
Yeah.
coming as a speaker, and he's a coach, so he has like the juice and the power to kind of wield an audience and everything like that. But instead of just going and taking a quick flight that weekend or whatever, he bringing his people with him and kind of uplifting them. So yeah, stuff like that, man. I really think he believes in those kids. You can like it's no longer if you thought it was just a stint or just a,
Mhm.
a joke or whatever at first, it ain't. Nah, he care about them kids and it's showing in the way that they play.
He made a comment I saw the other day that he felt like he should be in a different part of the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
You agree?
A different part of the Hall of Fame. What is it two sided now on some
Well, what he's saying is that like he believes, and I'm paraphrasing, that they've watered it down, and that had changed the game, and he should be with other players that were, once in a generation type of players. Again, I'm
yeah,
paraphrasing.
absolutely. I mean, I think that definitely, and it's levels to it, and like at the end of the day, man, because the I don't know. I was gonna say the guidelines, not the guidelines. That's not the right word, but the like requirements, I guess, to getting into the
Mhm.
Hall of Fame will maybe get watered down a bit, and you're gonna see some guys you wouldn't expect in there down the line. Probably so. But I think that even within that group, there's an understanding that like some guys are just built different. Some
Yeah.
guys are first ballots for good reasons. Some guys are all of that. But I wouldn't be opposed to it, and like even if it is, I mean, he's just saying it like j- as of like a as a hypothetical, but like I agree with it. Like yeah, let you Randy Moss and a few other cats that just are revolutionary. Um, uh, take your place in there.
Okay. And we didn't go. We still kind of skated past the goat of all goats,
Yeah,
but best receiver since you brought up Randy, him or Jerry Rice.
it's gonna have to be Randy for me, man. It's gonna have to be Randy. Um, it's gonna have to be Randy for me. I think what taking the top off the defense like that. Um, but when you think about longevity too, man, Jerry Rice played like a ridiculous amount of time.
And he didn't
Uh,
play like 15 great years
And the
and
drop
five
off wasn't
trash.
there.
Yeah. Like the Oakland years were still dope.
Yeah,
Like dude's a fucking machine.
yeah,
I like Randy personally more.
hmm
And I didn't like Jerry Rice. I
yeah,
like the cat he was, and like a lot of things I didn't like about him. But as a football player, that dude put on a clinic for decades.
yeah.
But Randy's like a gazelle playing against poodles.
To keep it yeah, honestly, man, that's really what it is. It's just different. Like when he touches, and as soon as he touches the ball, and you can watch clips all day long of him breaking loose on 99-yard touchdowns or slants. When you have that, no one man should have all that power. That's
Oh my god. And he was just torching motherfuckers too. It was just bad. Okay, best football player. Not best football player, but best running back. Jim Brown, Barry Sanders.
I might have to go. I'll be. I can't go out like that, man. I got the Browns in the background. We're gonna have to go gym all day long, man.
Oh, come on,
It's up
man.
the strength.
You being a homer, man, because you know,
Just
like,
up the strength.
and I'm born and raised in Detroit. Y'all know I'm a homer too. However, just keeping it a buck, Barry Sanders was a couple inches taller than me.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's something to think about too. Like, and that is revolutionary. Like that's a different tier and a
Oh my
different type of
God.
back. You're looking at a Jim Brown who's stocky and big, 6'6", 6'1", 6'2". Um, he's a bigger guy. He's expected to move like that, do things like that, and break tackles. But Barry, like, all right,
Yeah,
this is
on a trash team. Like,
your Lions, man. Yeah, that's
yo, they give us one Hall of Famer every 10 years,
yeah.
and that's it.
Good
You
for
know,
the memories.
yeah, that's it. They just want to sell tickets. They don't give like they literally should. If I were the NFL, I would have forced them to sell the team.
Yeah,
Like you just it's a decade of being non-competitive is understandable. That may happen. You know, you pick the wrong quarterback, that could ruin your franchise for a decade.
yeah.
But 4, 5 decades of just trash, that's
Where
not
is it?
bad picks. That's intentional.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Jordan or LeBron.
I'm gonna have to go.
Matter of fact, let me. I'm gonna do you a little bit dirtier
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that one.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
I'm gonna say Tim Duncan or Shaq.
Timmy or Shaq. Timmy a bad man now. Timmy is a bad man, but it's gonna have to be Shaq. I think yeah, it's definitely Shaq.
I'm gonna take Tim Duncan.
You are you? Timmy a
Yes,
winner, man. He's a winner. And again, that consistency of
yes.
he a bad dude.
Like the dude from a technical basketball aspect, you're not gonna find a more technically sound player than Tim Duncan in the history of the game.
Yeah,
Didn't talk no shit. Matter of fact, Shaq was like even like if one of his fans said that he was better than me, I'm not gonna argue that because that dude
yeah,
was legit.
yeah. He was for sure, and I can just see it in his demeanor. And like I don't know if he was a vocal as much as a vocal leader, but like but the way the Spurs operated, like it was a lead by example sort of thing. So everybody just followed suit of not only what a Tim Duncan would do, but like everybody following behind Greg Pop. So it was just and the type of guys that they had
Yeah,
in that organization was all
yeah,
like, well, no, nobody was on no trash over there. Everybody bought into the system.
facts. And low key, I would take Pop over what you call it any day. Phil Jackson.
Oh yeah, ain't no low key about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know how many people? There's a lot of people that Phil Jackson gets way more credit than he deserves. Tex was really doing all of that shit to keep it a
yeah.
buck. Although the psychological aspect, I don't think there was a better psychological coach than Phil Jackson.
Mm.
You know, he understood how to deal with super assholes.
And that's a big part of it too, because I mean, your locker
Yes.
room is not going to be silent like Timmy all the time.
No.
Somebody gonna get damn mad. You know what I mean? You
And
got
sometimes his silence is actually not a good thing because when your best player is not the alpha male, sometimes that could create some problems in your locker room.
hmm
Because you may have a scrub that's the alpha male, and now he's bossing around the best player. How does that look?
yeah, that's real. It's not good for the dynamic. Like, yeah, locker room culture is real. That's important.
Have you been in a toxic locker room?
A toxic locker room.
And I don't want you to tell me who if you have, but just like what were the telltale signs for you?
Yeah. Um, they don't like each other. They aren't
And it's
um
visible?
yeah, man. Like you can if you cool with somebody, it's gonna show naturally. Like you are maybe after practice, y'all going to get something to eat or whatever. If everybody putting their stuff in the locker room and jetting toward the door and looking at their phones, yeah, hey, man, it ain't no good. Don't nobody want it. Why am I here? You know what I mean? You questioning the whole situation. Um, yeah,
So are they shitting on each other to you? Okay, off the record, I don't like so and so over there.
right. Nah, it ain't like that. It isn't as blatant as that all the time, but it's not. It ain't giving them props either.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it ain't giving them props, and it is a lot of these guys, have been media trained and everything like that, so they know the way to BS their way through a joint.
Yeah.
So but they would give that and not be flattering. Uh, that's for damn sure.
Most enjoyable interview for you.
Most enjoyable. Who has been very cool to talk to? Brian always look out. I've spent a good amount of time in Cleveland, and I remember my first time talking to him. I was rushing to get down to the practice facility and everything like that. I was my first assignment. Get down there for practice, and I'm in there with my phone out, stuttering around, trying to get this damn question out. I'm like, "Hey, so LeBron, man, big game coming up. How are you? How are you? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? You talking to somebody on the street, dog? Hey, how's it going? You know what I mean?" And he looked at me, he understood the vibes and gave me a long 2 minute, 3 minute answer or whatever of like during that time he had just got off like he mixed something with his ankle or something like that and was
Mhm.
talking about his health and what he does to train in the off season to prepare himself for times like this and all that jazz. Looking out just off the strength of that. But aside from me stuttering around, Shaq has been a really cool interview. Always good people. Odell again, very personable. Just good people in terms of athletes for sure.
That's what's up, man. And my apologies if you can hear people in the background, bro. This is Big Health 100 episode. We at the Nerve DJ Studios right now. So shout out to Big Health and the whole team, man. That's pretty dope. Is there if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to hire you, how do they do that?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, you can follow me on social media. I'm at Randy is Ice on every platform there is, Instagram, Twitter, uh, MySpace. I'm everywhere. Yeah, man. But I'm, like I said, we on the job.
Space. You wild, bro.
All that good stuff. TikTok, all that good stuff. But yeah, make sure you give me a follow on there. I love that intersection of pop culture and sports. So that's all you're gonna see, with a lot more fun stuff in between. I'm always smiling at work. Check me out this upcoming weekend. Quick plug with this game on ESPN Plus. So if you got ESPN 3, make sure you check me out. Eastern Kentucky versus Bowling Green, and hopefully we have a few more games down the road for you guys. But shoot, man, oh yeah, we on a job hunt. I'm reaching out to everybody and their mama on LinkedIn. And if you could do me a favor, like something, share something. You never know where the next opportunity is, baby. I'm gonna keep my eyes open for sure.
Okay, Buffington. Is that your real last name?
Yeah, man. It's my real, it's my
That's a
podcast, man.
I couldn't live up to that name,
Hey,
bro.
my name is a trip. My full name is a trip. It's Randolph Vincent Buffington. So my mom's in there make sure I pass the resume test. So I sound like I'm the prince of something. I mean, a land somewhere. I sound like I should have a third at the end of my, you know what I mean? So I,
It does sound it sounds very rich.
it sounds like I got it. It sounds like I got a job right now. That's what it sounds like.
You do, bro. They just haven't contacted you yet.
So no.
You know. And do me a favor before because I don't want to take up too much time, but can I get your best sports reporter voice for an intellectually petty radio?
Oh yeah. All right. Listen, man. Appreciate y'all taking the time. It's Randy Buffington. You're listening in Washington, Intellectually Petty Radio with my main man Jobs. We'll catch y'all on the flip side.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, we'll have to use that one. Anything you want to say before we go, bro?
Yo, Josh, man, appreciate you taking the time, man. This outlet is so dope. What you're doing here, bringing everybody in and being able to tell their stories. You doing that alone is powerful. So I definitely want to give you your flowers and make sure you know that you're doing it. You're doing a damn thing. Keep doing it right.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. And I don't know if you're familiar with David A. Arnold, but I gotta go. I gotta say, yo, rest in peace to that brother.
Absolutely.
Um, got a chance to interview him a couple of years ago. And one thing that stuck out with me, and I was looking at it this morning, and he was saying how was successful, but he wasn't at the level that he wanted to be.
Hmm.
But from a global standpoint, being able to take care of his family, he was doing great. And the beauty was being able to sit back and see him get his flowers this year. He had a really phenomenal special that he
Yeah.
just put out this year. The whole world was
Was
talking
laughing.
about Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see that he finally got that, but it's so sad that he wasn't able to really bask in it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's real. And
and
what
I kind of
and I want to say like whether or not like he knew it at that point, like he was making strides and it was noticeable. People notice it. People
yeah,
notice work. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it just hadn't shown itself the way it had just yet with all the Netflix specials that were to come and everything like that, man. But shoot, Cleveland legend in its own right, man. More rest in power to the man.
yeah, man. Rest in peace to him. On that note, bro, it has been an honor and a privilege, man. Yo, I got something going on. Hit the old man up, man. I'm telling you, I'll come through. You know,
Oh yeah, no
I
doubt.
won't be there too long. Peak old man hours is getting close. Yeah.
No doubt, man. I got you for sure. We gonna set it off.
No doubt, bro. And if there's ever anything I can do for you, man, please don't hesitate to let me know.
That's love, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you for stopping through, man. You have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, peace. Yo, and I got about 5 minutes left to go. That was just a beautiful conversation, man. Um, Shout out to you. If nobody has told you yet, and I didn't tell him, and I do apologize, Randy, but if nobody has told you today, I'm proud of you. You dope as fuck. You're here for a reason. Whatever you're going through is whatever you're going through. It is not the rest of your life. It is today. You have an opportunity, if the Lord gives it to you, to wake you up in the morning to change whatever today was about. Take advantage of every ounce, every minute, every second, because it is not guaranteed. Again, I want to say rest in peace to David A. Arnold. Um, you made the world smile, and not too many people are offered that privilege. I want to thank your family, your daughters, for loaning you to us in large amounts of time so that you could benefit the rest of us as much as you benefited them. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to talk to you. I remember reaching out to you and you didn't give me any pushback, none of this, I'm too big or whatever. When would you like to do the interview? You're a great guy. You got a lot of powerful insight. And that's one of the interviews that stuck with me even before you passed. Because at that moment, it was like a get for me. That was a big deal for me. And you never made me feel less than. You reached back to try to help pull me up. And I'll be forever grateful. So on that note, man, y'all have a good one. Go hug somebody and tell your family you love them.